The path has crossed the river. The river has crossed the path. Which is the elder? We made the path and found the river. The river is from long ago, from the creator of the universe. The important chain of events beginning here could not have started if one musical instrument in the ensemble had been missing. The Atumpan, or talking master drum of the Ashanti. Africa, the master drum plays a vital role in the lives of the people. Some drums, like the Atumpan, are also talking drums, speaking in the high and low pitches and relative durations of the tone language. The chief has asked the master drummer to bring the drum carver to his house, where he will order a large pair of Atumpan suitable to his new status as paramount chief. The official announcement and celebration will occur in 40 days during a festival known as the Odai. The master drummer addresses the linguist of the tribe, saying he has fulfilled the chief's request by bringing the drum carver, a man who is honored by all the chiefs of the Ashanti as a supreme craftsman. The linguist, in turn, begins to repeat his words to the chief. The chief acknowledges that he has heard and is pleased. He tells the assembled council of elders and the drum carver that his coming elevation to paramount chief demands new drums of large size and depth of tone befitting this high office. Everyone agrees that this is so and calls for bottles of gin to celebrate the drum carver's commission. The drum carver and his assistants are selecting logs of the Twainaboa, a kind of cedar cut a year or more earlier and left here to season. The outside diameter and the inner circumference of the log are checked to be sure the finished drum will be large enough for the royal ensemble of a paramount chief. Formerly, the rough carving was completed in the bush. Now the heavy logs are rolled to a waiting truck and carried back to the carver's workshop. Jose asks what kind of drum will be made from this large log. Boma is the answer. The chief has also ordered a boma, one of a pair of tall drums known together as fontomfrom. The complete set of royal drums belonging to any chief of the Ashanti is also called fontomfrom, but only the set belonging to a paramount chief has two tall drums. Those of the lesser chiefs include only one. Jose is told that more than a year before, there was a tree felling ceremony. We are going to fell you down and take you home to our elders for them and their children to use you. Here are 3 leaves which we give to you. We do not give you our lives. Here is an egg for you. Take it, eat it, and be with us. We are going to use you. We shall not have any foul play with you. Listen kindly to our entreaty. Tweni Bokodwa, we have come here to fell you down and carve out of you Atumpan drums and their children. To any chief who takes you and uses you, give life and happiness. Let him not be impotent, let him not be blind, and let him not be deaf. Let all his subjects love him. I am here with my brothers. Take this drink and stand firmly behind us. These entreaties are made to the spirit of the tree. It is believed that this spirit will continue to dwell in the wood of the finished drums. That is why libations are poured before every performance on the Atumpan. After thanking the master drummer for the story, Ose asks him for a lesson sometime in playing the drums of the Fontomfrom ensemble. After roughing in the cylindrical outer form of the drum, the carver establishes the line where the contour of the foot begins. He wields a simple hand axe, cutting to the line with unerring precision. Hollowing out the foot and body of the drum with these mighty chisels is termed drilling. The Atumpan, used by all the Akan peoples of Ghana, performs in 3 different modes of drumming: the speech mode, the signal mode, and the dance mode. The speech mode is used to recite praises for a chief as he arrives at and departs from public gatherings or his residence, and in the course of various ceremonies. Poems, proverbs, and praises honoring the memory of ancient kings, the valor of warriors and hunters, and similar subjects are familiar texts on the Atumpan. A very important function of the master drum is its usage in processions during memorial services honoring a deceased member of the royal family. Riding in the palanquin with this paramount chief of the Fanti is the personification of the chief's soul. The 2 tall drums of the Fontonfrom and the pair of Atumpan are partially draped in funeral memorials. Only one of the Atumpan drums is played, even though 2 may be carried in procession. Grass held in the mouth is a sign of mourning. Libations are poured in honor of the deceased. Gunshots from the Hunters and Warriors Associations and the shaking umbrella are means of frightening off evil influence. While his apprentice is finishing the rough drilling of the first drum, the carver, conscious of the rapidly approaching Odai festival, begins the exterior contours of the second drum. mode of drumming is also important on ritual and ceremonial occasions when the Atumpan plays invocations to the spirits of the wood in the drum, other parts of the drum, deities, and ancestor drummers. In the signal mode of drumming, the Atumpan announces critical events such as the death of a chief, or a state of emergency such as war or fire, or a missing person requiring a search party. In the dance mode of playing, the master drum guides the dancers through changes of steps and sometimes adds the signal and speech modes to give directions to other drummers in the ensemble, to greet or praise dancers, extend a message of sympathy, or quote an appropriate proverb. In modern Africa, the Atumpan not only is retained in its traditional role, but also is used in a variety of new social functions. This recreational tea dance at the University of Ghana is balanced by the serious study of traditional music and dance representing all the different peoples of Ghana. The grammar schools, the Atumpan is used instead of a bell for changing classes and calling assemblies. Great care is taken in the details of decorative carving because the drums are valued as objects of art. A small square is left unfinished. In this space, the eye of the drum is incised. When the Atumpan is played, the eye of each drum faces the master drummer. The Atumpan is also used in some Christian church services. After completing the Atumpan drum shells, the carver visits the large marketplace in Kumasi, capital of the Ashanti country, to buy a cowhide for the drum heads. The hides of elephant ears, formerly used for this purpose, are no longer available. Long invocations to the spirits of the different materials in the drum are called the awakening. These may be heard before dawn on the day of an Odai festival.
I jump on tin tin, tin tin, tin 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 tin. Asaman for monko, monko, monkon kon konko. Mamam homereso, mamam homereso. Kinubu akodi abrempon, mamam homereso.
The pegs, made from the tough wood of the ofama tree, are driven partially through the shell of the drum.
Kinubu akodi abrempon, mamam homereso.
The carver has finished the shells of the Atumpan and the tall boma, and now prepares a cane hoop to receive the wet drum heads. They are sewn on with wire or sometimes woven bark or tough cane.
Akoko bunanopa. Akoko tuabon hima. Yeah, fro.
The wire is twisted so that it binds against the head of the pegs. To tighten the drum head, the pegs are driven farther into the shell.
Yeah, chiraun subehu. Say bediako.
The Atumpan is almost a symbol of state. It is used each year in the opening of the House of Parliament. It has, of course, a principal role on the occasion of the installment of a chief. Today, the boxing champion is also installed, and the Atumpan is part of the ceremony. At one time, a picture of the Atumpan was on the tuppence postage stamp. The mighty sound of this master drum is heard daily on the national radio as a station call introducing English and Ghanaian language news broadcasts. It is little wonder that the master drummer of the Atumpan commands great respect in his society. The significance of the proverb in Ghanaian societies is reflected in the woven patterns of kente cloth, prized and worn proudly on all important occasions. Each pattern represents a different proverb. The individual designs of the Ashanti stools may stand for different proverbs. Jewelry designs also are named as proverbs. One of the most important functions of the Atumpan, like the weaving of kente cloth or the carving of stools or the fashioning of jewelry, is the playing of traditional proverbs. Addressing the linguist, the carver informs the chief that the drums are finished in time for the Adai festival beginning tomorrow. Through the linguist, the chief says, "Tell the carver that I thank him for the honor done me. I join our departed ancestors and their various stools in saying thank you to him." At last, now that the Atumpan is finished, the master drummer offers Osai the sticks. For 40 days, the people of the village and the surrounding communities have been waiting until the Odai festival to congratulate their chief. The official representing the government reads the proclamation declaring that the Nana, or chief, has been elevated to the status of paramount chief. Africa, in many sounds and forms, the spirit of music and dance is truly the spirit of the people. Their values and sanctions, rites of passage, joys and sorrows, the blending of traditional and new modes of life, in one form or another, these manifestations of mind, spirit, and emotion are expressed in music and dance. Many other stories to be told of the master drums of Africa.